Hey guys, what's up, Facebook fam? Nisha here, and if you're watching the replay, comment replay below so I can say hello. Also, I repurpose these videos for YouTube, so if you're watching this on YouTube, then go ahead and hit the subscribe button so you don't miss future videos. So, today, I'm here to talk to you guys about 3 things to do when you're feeling stressed out by your biz. And the reason that I'm doing this live today is because I've been in London for about 5 weeks now-ish, give or take. And it's flown by, but it has been a total whirlwind. So for anyone who doesn't know, I've moved here for about 2 months just as kind of like a trial, so I can see whether or not I want to move here permanently by the end of the trial. And yeah, it's just been crazy. It's been like a whirlwind of getting settled and working and trying to find a routine, exploring the area that I live in, getting to know new people, all of that good stuff. And while it's been truly amazing and has revealed so much about me to myself that I didn't know before, it's also been a bit stressful. And I think I mentioned this to one of my coaching clients, and she was really surprised because she was like, you know, you've been in business for almost 8 years and you have Organize and Automate, which is my signature course. It teaches solopreneurs how to organize their business in 2 weeks on the side of their client work. And so I find that a lot of people think that I'm totally immune to stress. And while I do feel like I handle stress really well now because it's my whole business, it's what my business is about really, I'm still not immune to stress. Stress is a really human emotion, and I think that sometimes we often forget that and can find ourselves really resenting that emotion, even though it teaches us so much. But the question that I have for you today is, hey Julie, are you feeling stressed out at the moment? Just comment yes or no below. Feel free to tell me how you're feeling at the moment in your business, whether it's really grinding on your nerves and you feel like burning the whole thing to the ground, or whether you feel really calm and relaxed about your biz and it's going really well. Whatever it is for you, let your emotions out in a comment. I want to know, because I totally know and relate to what feeling stressed in your business feels like. It can often feel very anxiety inducing instead of passionate. And that's not what you want, right? You want your business to really fill you with excitement and passion and fulfillment. It can also make you do things like dread opening your inbox or avoid social media completely. Or maybe it can make you start to wonder if you'd be happier. In some extreme cases, it can make you start to wonder if you would be happier at a day job. So if you are feeling stressed out at the moment, then here are 3 simple steps that I take every single time that I'm feeling stressed before I do anything else, before I look at the tools that I'm using, the systems and the processes that I have in place in my business. These are the 3 super simple things that I do first and foremost. So number 1, I take a break. I know that you don't really feel like you can, or a lot of you feel like you can't anyway, because you have so much to do and your to-do list is a mile long. But those are the times, I promise you, those are the times when you feel like you can't take the break, that you need to take the break the most. So whether it is a weekend off or a whole day off, if you could take a whole week, that would be amazing. Or even if you can't, and you can just take one afternoon off to just leave your devices at home and go for a walk, or go and treat yourself to lunch, or go to a coffee shop and read a book. Whatever it is that you enjoy doing, that break is so necessary. And the reason for that is because, especially if you're a creative, which I know most of you are, if you think about it, right, and you're feeling super stressed out, but you're still trying to push through that stress without taking a break, or I think I posted a post on Instagram actually today that talked about those times when you feel so stressed and busy that you hold in your pee and you refuse to like even go to the toilet because you feel so busy that you can't even take a break to do that. I know that I've certainly been there at my worst and most stressed points in my 8-year business journey, and it's not a fun place to be. But when you try and push through that stress and keep going and keep going, keep pushing, you're actually going to provide your clients with really low quality work. And that's because you're not at your best, right? Your cup isn't filled because you're so stressed out. And when that happens, your creativity starts to drain, right? And your happiness starts to drain. And that's when you start to give your clients your lowest quality work. And that results in disappointed clients, unhappy clients, clients who ask you for refunds or partial refunds, or clients who don't say that they're unhappy, but in their minds, they're like, I'm not going to work with this girl again. She's not the one for me. So that's why breaks are so essential, because if you want to give your absolute best work to your clients, and not just work, you guys, but if you want to give your best to your partners and your friends, the relationships in your life, you need to make sure that your cup is full before you can start filling other people's. And that's why breaks are a necessary thing. Now, if you feel like you can't take a break, so maybe you've got client work, because I know that many of you who are listening to this right now, you work with clients primarily. So if you have a lot of client work to do and you feel like you can't take a break from those clients because you have deadlines that you've got to reach and you've got schedules that you need to stick to, then I want you to just do the necessary client work and nothing else. So don't post on social media, don't scroll through the gram, don't be posting on your Instagram stories or trying to write blog posts, trying to write newsletters. Don't reply to any emails that are not from your clients or from potential clients. I just want you to limit yourself to client work and nothing else. And I also want you to go ahead and delete social media apps from your phone and delete your inbox app from your phone, because I cannot tell you how much of a relief that was for me. Back when I was doing web and graphic design work, I remember I would always go to bed on my phone, in my inbox, answering emails, trying to refresh, looking for emails. And then I would do the exact same thing when I woke up in the morning. It was just constantly checking my inbox and looking for messages. And it made me so anxious and it made me so stressed. And I can remember the day that I decided, screw this, I'm just going to delete the Gmail app and like the little Apple Mail app as well from my phone, and just only check emails from my laptop during my work hours. I cannot tell you what a relief that was. So do that, you guys. Delete those apps, take a break. And if you have clients and deadlines that you have to stick to and you can't take a break, then just eliminate all work from your plate except for the client work. There's actually like a really great quote from someone, I don't remember who it was, but it said that the definition of simplicity is identifying essentials and eliminating everything else. And the thing is that most of the tasks on your plate are not necessary tasks, you guys. They are just what I like to call busybody tasks, which are tasks that make you feel busy and feel productive, but they aren't actually important and they don't actually move the needle or move your business forwards. So especially in times of stress, what you need to be doing is focusing on money-making tasks and client work and just eliminate everything else. So if you're following, if this makes sense, all this taking a break and eliminating unnecessary tasks, if this makes sense to you, then just comment yes below so that I know that we're both on the same page. And same goes for you guys on Instagram, because Facebook fam, I'm also live on Instagram. So if this makes sense to you guys too, then go ahead and comment. We've got a comment that says, yes, the notifications were making me super anxious. Yes, exactly right. They just make me anxious too. Like, delete the apps from your phone, you guys, and turn off notifications, and you'll see the biggest surprising difference in your anxiety levels. So number 2, the second step in this 3-step process when you're feeling stressed with your business is to journal. Now, journaling is like my absolute favorite self-care method in the whole world. I've been journaling probably every day for the last 2 years and I love it so much. It's so refreshing to just dump everything that you feel and think out onto paper and just leave the emotions there. So what I want you to do is I want you to grab a paper journal. So I don't want you to do this on your laptop, because I personally find that if you do this in a journal, it's much more therapeutic. So grab a paper journal and a pen, and I want you to ask yourself, How do I feel right now? What is the cause of this feeling? And then I want you to go ahead and ask yourself, what is really the cause? And the reason that I love asking that last question is because your first reason is rarely ever the real reason. I, for instance, have asked my students and my clients this in the past, and I've gotten an answer like, for instance, this is one of the most popular answers that I get. I've gotten this answer: I feel stressed because my clients are total nightmares. And then we've dug deeper and we've asked them, what is the real cause? Why are your clients total nightmares? And when they've journaled, and not just for a minute as well, by the way, I highly recommend journaling for at least 8 minutes, because if you journal past that 8-minute point, that's when you start to get to the real juice. And what you'll find when you dig deeper is that the real cause of your clients being nightmares is often not the client. It's often the fact that you have no processes, no order, no systems in your business. And this is causing confusion for your clients and confusion for you. It's causing a lack of boundaries, a lack of respect, a loss of patience. And then that results in the feeling of stress for both parties involved, both the client and you. So once you get to this real cause, the root cause of your stress, it's only then that you can actually do something about it. If you just settle for your first answer to that question, what's causing my stress? Nightmare clients. It's often going to make you feel powerless, right? Because we're humans, and what we tend to like to do is sit in this victim mindset, not just in business, but in all kinds of aspects of life. We tend to have or take on a victim mindset and blame external things for our stress and our negative emotions, when most of the time, if not all of the time, we are the creator of our stress. So what I want you to do is accept that you are the creator of your reality. If you believe, you guys, that circumstances, people, or anything outside of yourself is responsible for your reality and your results, then what you're doing is letting your business and your peace of mind and your life be run by something or someone that is out of your control. But when you take back power and you take back responsibility, it's amazing the difference that makes in how you feel, because you suddenly realize, I am responsible, I am in control. If my business is stressful, it's because I am making it that way. Now, I want to go on to the last step here, which is something that I actually did recently that caused me to make a huge shift in a project that I was starting in my business, which I'll tell you about in a second. But the third step is to ask yourself 3 questions. What do I want? What do I need? And what is the simplest and fastest way to get there? So often, what we want and need are clashing, which is why we are stressing ourselves out and we're feeling overwhelmed, we're feeling negative, we're feeling burned out. So for instance, recently I wanted to hit a certain income goal for the end of the financial year, but I needed to feel inner calm, and I also have had this real craving to feel creative and feel curious and explore and feel adventurous. Now, to hit my goal of my income goal, which is my want, I decided that I was going to launch a new course, and that would bring in the money to hit the income goal that I wanted. But I also thought it will help me to feel more creative, which is the number one thing that I've been craving the most in my life recently. But what I was finding was it was just making me feel stressed out. And because of that, I was feeling a lot of resistance towards it. So I would write a sales page and just feel really resistant to writing it. Or I would create the content and I would feel a lot of resistance towards creating that as well. And something just didn't line up for me. I wasn't feeling aligned about it. And it was causing me to feel stressed inside. And so what I ended up doing was I asked myself that last question, the question of what is the simplest and fastest way to achieve my want and my need. And what I realized was that the simplest and fastest way to achieve my income goal while also achieving inner calm and having time for creativity was not to launch something new, but to focus on selling what I already have and use the spare time that I would have from not launching something new to explore London and take creative classes and try creative things that I've always wanted to try and I've never really been in a city that has given me access to these types of activities and classes. Like yesterday, I went to a breathwork class, which you just wouldn't find in my old hometown. But in London, I have access to all of these things and I want to be able to use my time to go to classes like this. And I went to a self-love workshop on the weekend as well, which was an entire day thing. And I absolutely loved it. It was just so refreshing. But basically, I realized that, I can achieve my want and I can achieve my need in a much simpler and faster way than what I originally thought. And so many of my students and clients do the same thing. They look at what they need, look at what they want, and end up following some really complicated, time-consuming path to get there, when if they just took like 15 minutes out to ask themselves these 3 questions, they would discover a much simpler and more effective and faster way to achieve what they want and need without driving themselves insane with stress and overwhelm. So what I want you guys to do is ask yourself those questions. What do I want? What do I need? And what is the simplest and fastest way to get there? And if you feel called to, go ahead and comment below and tell me, even if it's just an answer to like one of those things, not all 3 questions. Tell me any of those answers, because I would really love to hear. So hopefully that has all made sense for you guys. We've got a comment here that says, I'm still in survival mode in business. Feel like I'm fumbling around trying to make something stick. Such an inspiration to hear how you deal with it. Oh, well, I'm really glad to hear that you found this inspiring, and I hope that this has helped you a little bit. Hopefully it can help you to, give you some tools, some mindset tools that you can implement today to stop you from feeling so stressed. But yeah, we've talked today, haven't we, about 3 simple mindset activities that you can do when you're stressed. So I'll give you a quick recap of what they were. Number 1 was to take a break, give your brain a rest. Number 2 was to journal, to give your mind some space to dig deep and find the root cause of your stress. Don't just settle for the first answer to that question, why do I feel stressed? Dig deeper and find what is really the cause. And then the 3rd step was to ask yourself, what do I want, need, and what is the simplest and fastest way to achieve those things? Now, we haven't talked about practical steps to stop stressing about your business, but that is okay, because I have a free masterclass to help you with the practical side of organizing your biz. And it's called 10 Steps to Go from Overwhelmed to Organized. And inside of this workshop, I teach you the 10-step process that has helped me personally to stop stressing, work way less hours, and make an additional 200k. I'm also going to be teaching you inside the workshop 3 unexpected ways to grow your business and your income without trying any new marketing strategies. I'll teach you how I helped one solopreneur to double her income just by organizing and automating her business. And the last thing I teach you in that workshop is the top 3 mistakes that you should avoid making if you want to organize your business fast and you want to get to a stress-free place as quickly as possible. So go to nishawillery.com/workshop to sign up for that. And I'll leave the link below this video as well, so you can go ahead and click that. But thank you guys so much for joining me today. It's been a really fun one. I hope that this has helped you. And yeah, I will be joining you next week with another Facebook Live, but it was really cool chatting with you. See you soon.